Hey folks, welcome back to Dragon Quest Swords. I'm here to show off a couple of the master strokes that I didn't show off during the regular playthrough. This here is the Dragon Lord's Doom, which is what you get for getting the Dragon Warrior Sword. This is probably the most involved master stroke, and I honestly really suck at it, as you can tell. If you got it full powered on everything, it would probably be pretty good, but apparently it's not worth it. Now, this one, we have Onlus's Buddy Blast, the Elemental Extremes, as he just said, which is basically the infinite thing over again. They like to reuse motions, but it's alright. And now I wanted to show off the one sword that I didn't temper that's actually kind of worth getting. If you temper the Rusty Old Sword and get the Metal King Sword, you'll get a sword that does double damage against metal monsters. I.e., it does more damage to metal slimes, so it gets easier to grind on the Metal King slime. Once you get good at the Metal King slime, you don't really need this sword, but if you have trouble with him, it's certainly worth it. It makes it a lot easier. I just didn't bother. So now that it's tempered, with our 4 noble metals and however many gold, I don't even remember, off we go, and I'm going to show it off against the Metal King Slime. Or King Latum, right. As you can see, it does 2 damage rather than 1, and considering the opponent, that makes things significantly easier. So yeah, pretty easy. But not entirely necessary. It's basically if you want to grind to beat the final bosses. This is an X rank, by the way. They're pretty hard to get. But you'll get an Yggdrasil Leaf plus double all the other rewards, so useful. Now then, I'm here to explain about Payback mode. When you beat, it is still fixed regularly in a regular playthrough. You'll have the option to start a new game in Payback mode, which starts you off with a sword, Deathbringer, with 200 base power. And that makes the entire game an absolute cakewalk. Then, once you get to the mirror bosses, you can grind some materials and temper it into what I have here, which I forget the name of, with 400 base power, and also getting the Figure of Hate Master Stroke. I said in a past video that it wasn't really a good reward. That is a bold-faced lie. It is incredibly fun to blaze through the game again, but it wouldn't be nearly as fun if I hadn't earned it. So basically, these two swords make the game an absolute cakewalk, really easy, but really fun, because you can slash the hell out of it. Anyway, this is a Master Stroke for Florette, the Buddy Blast here. And as you can see, it's the same motion. But I love that pun, so it's all good. Now you can tell how powerful this sword is. You slash a lot quicker. You'll hit things that are slightly further away. Really, it makes things very easy. Also, Florette has full heal, as I mentioned several times during the actual thing, and multi-heal, which is useful to an extent. So as you can see, I got through him without him even using the Figure of Hate, so I don't know how easy it is to counter his Figure of Hate with the Super Sword. But overall, it just makes everything really easy. The only sort of difficult part is when you're getting the noble metals, because you might have to grind a little bit in order to get high enough level to get a decent grade and get the noble metals on the purple mirror bosses. But you're basically never in danger. The only sort of downside is that you don't get a fancy shield for beating Zyphos the first time, so you're stuck with the Orber shield. Oh, and I'm also wearing the military tattoo, which doubles the rate at which you build up your Master Stroke gauge, so that's why I'm getting so many Master Strokes. Not that it really matters. And Edisofix is already down. I love kicking his ass. And that's just about all that's worth showing off. But really, this is a game that you should play rather than just watch. Because watching somebody slash the hell out of something just doesn't have the same feel. So what have we learned from this playthrough? Well, like Metroid Prime 2 was last year, this is basically an experience to get outside my comfort zone. Because this is a franchise that I was not familiar with before I played this game. I basically played this game once prior to the video series, and still haven't really gone into the other games in the series. I played Dragon Quest VIII at Lyco's house, and Dragon Quest 1 on an emulator way back. And that's about it. Someone in the comments earlier on in the series asked me not to judge the series as a whole by this game, because it was shallow and a knockoff. Well, you know what, bud? If I judged it by this game, I would love the series to death. This is a game that... It's not a flawless game. I'm not going to claim that it's the epitome of gaming. The plot's shallow, the characters are predictable, the gameplay could use a lot of fine-tuning, the stats are simplistic, and they do a lot of lazy stuff with the bosses and the naming and a lot of stuff. But it's a game that's just really fun to play, and that's something that's not very common in gaming nowadays. I mean, I put it in the same vein as Muramasa, as No More Heroes, a game you can just put in and slash the hell out of something, and enjoy the hell out of it, regardless of proper content, or a lack of invigorating storyline, or in-depth mechanics and all that crap. It's just a game that you can pick up and enjoy, and outside of more competitive games, like, say, online first-person shooters, or fighting games, or party games, it's something that's rare. And I really appreciate that this game brings that to the table. It's a niche game, I'll admit that. But it's a game that I enjoyed, and I hope that you would enjoy it too. I can't say that for sure, but I would call it a good hunch. So at the risk of sounding like a total sellout, which I totally am, you should all play this game. And other games that may seem like cheap knockoffs of a well-loved series, whether it's Pokemon Colosseum not being like a true Pokemon game, or Dragon Quest Swords being shallower than the main series. There are games out there that just didn't get their fair due, like this game, like a lot of games. And I hope that, if nothing else, this playthrough has gotten some of you interested in trying out this game. You can get it at GameStop for, like, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks. It's well worth it, and I think that a lot of you would enjoy it. So, I hope that you all enjoyed this playthrough. I know I did. This is one of the most fun playthroughs that I've done in quite a while. And I will see you next week for a new series. And for now, see ya, folks. This has been Dragon Quest Swords.